Hey guys, welcome back to the Laid Back Homestead. I'm Crystal and it's really bright outside, hence why I'm squinting so much. Today is greenhouse clean out day. I have been putting this off and I haven't been filming in here. Everything pretty much up in here died. I had 2 volunteer tomato plants. One got wilt. Don't ask me how that happened. The other one is totally inundated with mealybugs, and it's just time for everything to come out. The squash all died due to silver leaf disease, silver leaf virus from the whitefly infestation we had. And it's basically just wasted space at this point. So we're gonna get in here. I'm gonna show you what it looks like before, clean it out, reset it so that we are ready to go. And hopefully I can plant out some more this weekend in here and get another harvest of squash. So it is a nightmare. This is my wilty volunteer tomato. Don't know why, don't know how, but it is. And then I've got my dead flowers back here. I don't remember the name of them. I planted them in here because they were a favorite of the ladybugs when I had ladybugs in here, but they've all flown out. I have this volunteer tomato that you can see, the mealybug is just so gross, so nasty. But this, even though it's still going, and I mean, it is still producing, it's just time. I need to reclaim this space. I have some peppers in here that have been munched on profusely, but they actually look okay. I'll probably leave them. If you look down here, look at all those volunteer tomatoes coming back. Not gonna be able to leave all of that because I really do want to grow squash. I have a couple of squashes that look okay. This guy has kind of bounced back. My problem though is that it's not producing. I mean, it looks good. It's got nice looking leaves, but there's no fruit. So it's not really useful. And then some of my bags are just empty. And there's just a whole lot of death. I have, some that are still trying to survive. You can see this one still has the silver leaf. A little bit of powdery mildew as well. Oh, this guy. He's got the wilt. Yeah, I mean, he's growing up out of the crack, so I'm not super surprised. I didn't plant him, but that is 100% how wilt starts. Well, bacterial wilt. My specific strain of bacteria, which is, I'm probably going to butcher this, Rostonia solanacerum. That's how I pronounce it. But it starts like this, the very tip, and then works its way down. So definite indicator that I have wilt alive and well in my greenhouse, which I'm not super surprised. At one point we did put tainted dirt in here just to not waste it, to grow squash. The squash don't care about the wilt. But yeah, it's a disaster. And then here is my shelves, right? And where I live in zone 9A, we are about to start all of our fall seeds within the next couple of weeks. And I've got my grow lights. So this area is very important to me, but I'm not liking the fact that there's wilt all over it. So part of what I'm gonna do, even though all of this stuff has been cleaned, everything is gonna get re-bleached. I'm gonna bleach my shelves, get everything wiped down, and hopefully eradicate as much of the wilt as possible, because I don't want to cross-contaminate any of my seedlings. So, fun times. It's hot. It's time to get started. So, time to get started. Since sanitizing is the name of the game in this yard, the wilt, I went ahead and I got some bleach buckets made up. Even though this stuff had been bleached prior, I got nervous because it's been sitting here. So I re-bleached it, poured bleach in here, let that sit for a few minutes, take all that stuff out to dry, and then I'm gonna pull everything that was in there on my shelves out so that that can get sanitized. I have 2 other buckets going for hydroponic top up. And then this is a bucket of bleach water. I'm gonna need a rag and I'm gonna take that in there so that I can bleach down my shelves and the walls. All right, so phase 1 is complete. Probably the easiest phase, which was simply yank everything out. We left in 3 peppers that were growing. I don't know if they're gonna make it because I am questioning wilt. In fact, just right outside the door, I'm questioning if there's wilt here, which, yay me. My husband at this point said, assume everything's a write-off. Oh, I was wrong. We actually have 4 pepper plants in here. But, you know, we still got a little bit up there I gotta yank down. He missed that spot. That's all right. He did the majority of the yanking. Now, what we will do later, we will come in here and spray for weeds. The wilt can live in the weeds, and not that I'm trying to grow anything in here specifically that will succumb to the wilt, because so the squash won't care about the wilt, but I am starting seeds in here and I just want everything to have a fair chance without cross-contaminating possibly out in my yard. So the next step is taking everything that I had in here out and re-bleaching it. So I work in batches to do this. I have a sanitized bucket where I pull things out to dry. I have my active bleach tote. And from all of my research, in order to effectively kill the wilt, you need so many ounces and so much exposure time in here. So I'm just going to let everything sit in here. I typically do at least a 10-minute soak. And that's what we're gonna do here. So this is probably complete overkill and not necessary, but we had such a bad infestation in there of mealybugs that I want to spray a little extra something. So I'm going to be mixing up some of the Dr. Earth Final Stop. Supposedly works on spider mites as well as mealybugs and whiteflies. We'll see. I didn't have great success with it, but I think that's because I wasn't spraying it as often as I should have been. So first thing I'm gonna do, hopefully y'all can hear me, but I have to have the greenhouse fan on or I'll die. I'm just gonna spray this lattice work real good with the Dr. Earth. And there was already soap in here because I was using this to kill leaf-footed bugs. But I'm just gonna come through and make sure that I get all of this real good. The lattice work, and I'm making sure I'm seeing it hit the polycarbon. I think that's what it's called. Phase 2 is complete. I sprayed down all of my lattice work as high up as I could get to. The thing with mealybugs is I have found the best way to handle them is to keep on top of them. Well, if you have a tried and true method of eradicating mealybugs, please share it with me, because the only way, I'm watching a bird eat my black cherries right now off of my black cherry tree. The only way that I have found to deal with the mealybugs is to stay on top of them. And by that, I mean, like, as soon as you see them, come outside with a Q-tip and rubbing alcohol and touch them, and it kills them. But if you let it get out of hand, it just takes over too quickly. And I could have done a better job spraying in there, but basically I let the volunteer tomato act as a trap crop, and that worked out fine. There were no mealybugs on any of my squash, unfortunately, my squash were inundated with whiteflies earlier in the spring. And for the first time ever, because this seems to be the year of trial for me, I had something called silver leaf disease on my squash, which eventually killed them. Now, in my area, the whiteflies are not supposed to like this extreme heat. We typically deal with them more in the spring when it's still cool, or later in the fall when it's getting cool again. And I think I'll be safe to plant out more squash in here, and hopefully we'll get a better harvest, because I really didn't get a whole lot. I had close to 10 plants going and not a whole lot happening. And that was across several varieties. I felt like I got more zucchini from the 3 I had outside before the vine borers got them than I did off of anything in there. So I'm not really sure what went wrong, but hopefully now we'll get a decent harvest. And I'm just taking a little break because it's so hot in there that my camera keeps overheating. So I can't get to filming the bleaching yet until everything cools off. All right, so phase 3 now is the bleaching process. So I'm gonna get to doing that. My husband came down with the hose and just got all the really big chunks off. Now we're gonna get this cleaned. So now that I got everything sprayed, I am gonna come in with just some water, knock everything down. Now earlier, you saw me spraying down my lattice work, try to kill the mealybugs. I also sprayed down my pepper plants that were still in here. And the Dr. Earth is safe for that, but there was also soap mixed into that mixture. And whenever I spray something like that, and it's this hot outside, I do like to come by afterwards with the hose, give it a good rinsing. That way it doesn't burn. All right, so Operation Clean Out the Greenhouse was a success. You may be wondering what some of this is for. I use these as risers for my seedlings to get them closer to my grow lights once we start that process. I have some grow lights that are adjustable, which is nice, but then I also have some that are fixed. So depending on the seedling, sometimes I like to get them a little bit closer to the light just to help them not get leggy and do all the good things. So what I will do now, everything has been cleaned. We do still have some debris here. I'm not worried about it. I sprayed it with the Dr. Earth and the soap. It'll be fine. So what I will do now, I'm gonna let all of this dry. So I'm gonna let all of this dry, and then we're gonna come out and plant in these bags. I have a couple of squash starts that we started together in another video from seed. So we're gonna start more seeds and we're gonna go plant out as soon as this is dry. Hey guys, so it's almost time to go plant out what I do have, but because my germination rate was so bad and my seed box is so full, I decided to take a few minutes to test some of my older seeds. And I'm gonna do that with the good old wet paper towel in the Ziploc baggie method. Anything that comes up that I don't have room for, I'll just go plant out at my other property. But my germination rates have been so bad that I feel like this is kind of a necessity. So it's a pretty busy, windy afternoon. So I'm trying to keep everything on the table. But you can see here, we've started these seeds twice now. And out of everything, I have 2 transplants to show for it. So not the best. I did place a seed order that should be coming in probably within a week. So if these don't work, it's no big deal. I am gonna plant these 2 in the greenhouse in just a bit, but I wanna get some of these tested. I did manage to find my parthenocarpic variety of squash. And these are not that old, so I'm gonna direct sow these in the greenhouse. This is the Summer Squash Sure Thing Hybrid. So I'm gonna be direct sowing those. They supposedly set fruit in cooler conditions, not that that's an issue for me, but also better fruit set, without the presence of bees or pollinators. And even though I do go out and hand pollinate, it's nice to not always have to worry about it. I had heavily sown these dwarf sunflower seeds and I got nothing. So I'm just putting the rest of this pack out and we will go this way. And we will see if I get anything out of this. And I just have a damp paper towel. I already have labeled my bag. The other one I wanted to do the early prolific bee seeds are from 2020. I did not have a whole lot of luck with them coming up, but I'm gonna just do a couple of these to see if this method will work. I still have a lot of seeds left, so I'm kind of hoping I get a couple out of this. There's a bird staring me down. I live here, sir. So I just put them out. I got about 6 here. This is kind of like my last ditch effort to get seeds to germinate. If I've tried twice in soil and it doesn't work, I go this way. And I do this with everything, even carrots, which I know people are like, oh, you can't do that. But yeah, you can. And yes, I've grown carrots successfully after starting them in a paper towel. All right, the other one I'm gonna do, these seeds are not that old either, but I had none come up and this was the second planting of them. So I'm not sure what's going on. These are the Spineless Beauty. I have a lot of these seeds too, so I'm hoping this is just a fluke because these were not the cheapest seeds. Hybrid seeds are not the cheapest. I rarely buy hybrid seeds in most things. However, with squash, I'm growing them in a greenhouse and I am cross-pollinating them across all varieties. So there's really no chance of me saving seed from them and getting a true parent, just because that's just not how I garden. But if that was something you were into, then of course, buy heirlooms. I'm typically, because I'm in a greenhouse, I'm looking for something that can give me a leg up on the production rate. Now these will sit, I'm gonna leave these out here, probably on this table. We'll check back on them in a couple of days and see what we get. I'm gonna direct sow some of these. I'm gonna go in with this very generic summer squash I got. These were unopened, so I am hoping that they come up with no issues. But again, we started some different varieties in bags. So I can tell by the bag, the dirt in here, where it gets consistently hit with the drip. So that's where I'm going to bury the seeds. And I did already put out my tags. This one is the parthenocarpic one. I'm gonna do 2 bags of those at least. The last seed I'm gonna direct sow in here is the winter squash mashed potato. I think these are climbing, I'm not sure. So I'm gonna plant these close enough to my trellis system to where if they need to vine out, they will have a place to go. And this is one of our transplants. This is the early nutter, which I believe this is also a climbing one. So I'm gonna put it close back here to the trellis. We'll see what it does. And the last one that I'm planting out today is the Commander, which again, we know this bag has wilt. And anytime I know I'm actively working with wilt or wilty beds, I always try to do it towards the end of the day, towards the end of my chores to prevent any type of cross-contamination. So if I know I'm gonna be working in my greenhouse, that's it for the day. I'm not gonna go back to my garden beds and flit around because I just don't want to take that risk. So this is our completed greenhouse for today. It's still a work in progress. We don't have anything planted here yet other than peppers, but well, and a ridiculous amount of volunteer tomatoes. So I have space. I still don't have anything planted here. We did plant out here, and then we direct sowed in these 4. Now again, if nothing comes up there, we started some seeds in Ziploc baggies. I think we'll be okay. And then on this side, I have the other 2. Nothing in that bed yet but a pepper, and we planted out right there. But overall, the greenhouse is looking nice, fresh, and pretty soon, every one of these shelves will be covered in baby plants. Well guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. The greenhouse, happy with it. I'm looking forward to the homestead. It'll be much bigger. So that's exciting news to come. But yeah, overall, we got a lot done today. It needed to get done. Everything in there, as you saw in the beginning, was quite deceased. And it was just time for a fresh start. So if you enjoy this type of content, gardening, homesteading, cooking, I encourage you to subscribe. Plenty more to come. And thank you all for coming along with me. Until next time, stay blessed.